Meanwhile, overseas, a desperate search for survivors is now underway in central Italy after a massive avalanche buried a hotel at a luxury ski resort. Authorities believe that dozens of guests and workers are still buried beneath the snow, some of which have, in fact, sent text messages to family members begging for help. CBS News foreign correspondent Allen Pizzey is on the phone with me now from Rome with more. And Allen, what can you tell us about the rescue efforts at this hour?
Well, at the moment, they're trying to get in there. The rescuers did get in about 4:50 this morning. Some specialist alpine troops on skis managed to get in and start digging into this destroyed hotel. One report said the whole hotel was moved about 30-odd feet by the force of the avalanche. Now, it struck in the early evening, we think, on Wednesday, yesterday. Snowplows had been called in to try to get the way cleared even before the avalanche because there's been what were described as historically heavy snowfall, so the road was blocked, the people were trapped anyway. The latest news coming out on Italian radio is that 4 bodies have been recovered, 4 survivors have been pulled out, leaving, they think, 27 people or bodies still trapped inside this hotel. One of the text messages that came out to rescuers fairly early on just said, "Help, we are dying of the cold." And that's probably pretty accurate because the temperatures have been well below freezing up there. It's been snowing for days. This is an area that was already hit by earthquakes and aftershocks. There was a big one yesterday, 4 major good-sized quakes on Wednesday, which may have been what triggered the avalanche. Right now, there's a rescue operation in progress, but we're being told in some instances having to dig with shovels in their hands because of the amount of snow that came down on this 3-story hotel that's just virtually been buried.
And as we saw, Allen, in the aftermath of the devastating and deadly earthquake that struck Amatrice, the remote quality of these towns do make rescue efforts especially difficult. How difficult, how removed really is this hotel, and how common are avalanches in this region?
Well, avalanches are more common in the spring when the snow starts to get loose and break up. But as I said, there were major earthquakes and aftershocks in the area. Some felt as far away as Rome, so that is probably what triggered the avalanche. Now, as far as we know from looking at the maps and so on, and what we're hearing is that there's basically one road into this hotel. It's a 5-star hotel in a very remote area of what's called the Gran Sasso. It's a stunningly beautiful area, very popular with tourists. And the snowplows had been called in to try to clear the road because of extremely heavy snow that blocked it. They were cut off even before the avalanche, and then the rescue workers simply couldn't get there because of the heavy snow. So it's not an area where you can just wander in and wander out again. There have been police helicopters in the air, and the pictures that are coming down show absolute devastation.
And the same pictures, again, that we are looking at as you're speaking, Allen, also speak to just the depth of that snowpack. It does appear in places that it, in fact, rises above the snowplows brought in to clear it. Allen Pizzey there in Rome. I know you'll be covering this for us throughout the day here at CBSN. Allen, we do appreciate it.